Good morning. Even though I look like shit, pretty good night's sleep. Still here at Canisplodge, just about to get a coffee on, and then we're going to go and walk to the base of Suilven and hopefully summit it, depending on the weather. There's a lot of photographers came yesterday evening and throughout the night, so yeah, lots of movement in the car park, but yeah, still had a good night's sleep. Yeah, let's have a look outside. Yeah, not too bad actually. The sun's just on its way up. Libby's probably still asleep. Lazy bugger. Yeah, otherwise the sky looks okay. Pretty much in keeping with what the weather forecast was, which is pretty much hit and miss for the next week or so. The temperatures have definitely plummeted. It was about 6 in the van this morning. But other than that, you know, as long as it's not raining, it's a good day. So just about to get the coffee on and pack my bag, and we'll be off. And we'll catch you on the mountain shortly. Apologies for any wind noise, but yeah, the wind's picking up slightly. Right, so here we are. This is the junction. Basically, if you carry on up this path here, that takes you out to the main road over by Elphin, and we're gonna crack on up this one now and start the ascent. Onwards and upwards, and the sun is just coming out. Glorious, absolutely glorious. And basically, just from this angle, the path goes straight up there, up into the saddle, and from that point then you can either go across to this side here, which is the highest point, I'm led to believe, without checking a map. But takes a little bit of scrambling, more advanced scrambling, or to the more iconic dome end, which is this end here, that then overlooks the whole of Loch Inver. There's been 2 small false peaks and crests to get to this point, and then it's just straight up the side now. It's a well-worn footpath, easy to follow, if a little steep. Right, I'd say we're about halfway up, something like that, the top, or rather what we're aiming for, that saddle in the middle there. So still a bit of a climb to go. I won't lie, it is bloody steep, and with some properly big steps, big stepping stone steps. My heart is jumping up my chest, but it's in sinus rhythm, so that's all I really care about. Couldn't care how fast it's going, as long as it's going in a rhythm, proper rhythm. That's all that matters. Yeah, only halfway up and already the views are opening out into something truly magnificent. That mountain there in the distance is, well, what looks like Koulag, but I think it's pronounced Koulag. Yeah. Onwards and upwards. Yeah, up there. Oh, fuck me, it's like doing knees to chest. Oh, god awful bloody things. Alright, so we're pretty much there. For another 50 metres, 100 metres, and we should be at the top. Absolutely fucked, if I'm honest. Still, not bad for an old man, out of shape. Libby's just down there somewhere. Don't know. Somewhere down around there. Yeah, really good climb, brilliant walk, and perfect weather for it. Nice and cold, and not raining at the moment, so that continues. Alright, so that's pretty much at the the saddle. Still a fair bit from the summit, but this is the saddle, which is quite narrow, not too bad really. And yeah, and the rest is a bit of scaling and scrambling up that bit there to get to the summit. But just check the views, absolutely brilliant. And at the saddle, obviously, you can turn left if you want to, take that path up and over to the far eastern summit, which does involve a bit more advanced scrambling. I think this is just fine, actually. And there you are, a better photo or better image of Koulag in the distance there, that one there. Right, so this is the wall upon the saddle of Suilven, and if I remember, I'll put in the video a brief description of why it was here, why it was put here. Something tells me it's something to do with prisoners or something, I can't remember. Okay, and mountains to the south. This one here is Munro, just behind it Koulag. And then this, where's the finger gone? There. That's stunning. So I might be pointing to the wrong bloody thing here. Oh no, it's that one there. So that there is Stack Poly, the one that had the massive fire around it not so long ago, a few days ago. Okay, for those with vertigo and worried about narrow paths, etc., this is about as narrow as it gets. You've got to fall off down to the left, and then a pretty steep drop off, though there is a bit of grass to catch you should you fall. Perfect. Just come to the final piece of narrow pathway. Again, bit of a drop off to the right hand side this time. Well, right and left actually. You got that there, and then on the other side, down there. Listen, I hate heights, and actually there's enough ground either side to make it feel not so exposed. Right, continue up there. I know the video on the phone is quite pants, but the battery's running low on the Osmo 3, so I have to suffice for this one. But absolutely breathtaking, the view, especially now the cloud has slightly lifted over Koulag. And yeah, we'll continue on up to the dome summit, which is fingers in the wrong place, just over that point there. Alright, so just here we've got a bit more of a scramble, or if you're very flexible, I suppose you could step up them quite easily, but for short asses like me, it's a hand on the rock scramble. Yeah, and this is not far from the top of the summit, the bowl summit, or the roundy bit. Right, and that's us pretty much up the top. Last bit of rocky climb. What an epic day, what an epic walk-in and climb. And I still maintain, by far, my most favourite mountain of all the mountains I've climbed on all the different continents and places I've visited in the world. This is up there, absolutely up there, right on top. 10 out of 10 for everything: approach, the climb itself, and the views from the top. Absolutely epic mountain. So if you've a mind to climb something that will absolutely give you nothing but fantastic memories, visual, emotional, the whole lot, then I'd really give this one a go. If you take your time, it's a fairly easy, straightforward mountain to climb. You just need to put the effort in places because it's bloody steep. Right, and that's us at the top. And yeah, the views are just something else. Yeah, just got another 50 meters or so, and then you're onto the sheer cliffs on the west there that are so prominent when you're down in Lochinver, looking up. And actually, for a bit of backstory, the first time I ever saw this mountain was from the sea. So just out there somewhere in June 22, as part of a team and the GB Row Challenge, we rode around the whole of the UK, or Great Britain, mainland Great Britain, and we came past here, and I always remember distinctively seeing this mountain and thinking, bloody hell, what's that one? Later looked it up, and then in 23 with Libby came and climbed it for the first time. Okay, and so begins the descent. I'm not going to film much of this because, to be honest, it's just a reciprocal of what we've done on the way back up. On the way up. Hey, Mo. What's that? So we got Stack Holly, Colbeg, Gulmore. So I wasn't going to do any recording on the way down then. Molly sat on a rock and then lay on a rock, and yeah, how could I not? Biscuits.
They're doing really well.
You're old, 2 years old.
Doesn't matter.
They've lost all their colour.
Probably all their flavour, but they think they're getting something nice, don't they?
Well, that's the end of the walk. Excuse the bouncing up and down the camera. This is the phone, so it'll be shit quality as well. Hey ho. Yeah, end of the walk to Suilven. Absolutely banging day, to be honest. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And the weather stayed fine all day, which is always a bonus. Right, swift bit of admin and then straight down to Lochinver for a cold can of Coke and a thick slice of cake, I reckon. See you soon. Right, so we've arrived in our park up for the night, which is in Koulag Woods, just outside Lochinver. Very quiet area. It's got a couple of walks inside that takes you down to the beach. But for now, after a brief stop in Lochinver where we admined ourselves and had a brew, it's time to admin the vans now. Mine needs a good sweep out because it's absolutely minging in there.
Good morning. So today is April the 16th, Wednesday, and we're in Koulag Woods. Very peaceful, very quiet park up. Just about to get the coffee on, and then we'll head out for a walk down towards the beach through the woods, and then get into the day. Not a lot planned really for today, other than we're going to dinner tonight. Other than that, life goes on in the van. It's pretty parky at the moment. Let me just show you the temperature. I'm not sure whether you can see it actually, but it's 5 degrees. And outside, oh yeah, random sheep walking down the lane. Why not?
Okay, so we've just come into Koulag Woods, and yeah, as you can see, pretty well, wood-like. I don't know how else to explain it, you know, trees and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a big dragonfly for you. Yeah, I don't think we'll be going much further. Looks at that shit in there. Molly, don't you even think about it. Alright, so this must be some sort of adventure type area. The makings of shelters, etc. For a small wood, it's got quite a few decent trails, and we're on the White Shore Trail, I think, which, as the name suggests, brings you down to the shore. Not quite white, but at least it's the shore. Yeah, so basically, the harbour entrance is around there, I think, and the harbour itself is just around the corner here. Oh wow. Trinket tree. There's lots of messages left. Messages, tokens, reminders, friendships, loved ones, people that have passed, people that are still living. Yeah, it's quite a special feeling being here actually. I know nothing about this tree, or why the things are left, or the people that have left them, but yeah, it's got an eerie feel to it. Yeah, I'm really trying to, Val. With the dogs walked, fed and watered, it was time to head back down into Lochinver. We had some admin to do in preparation for going to dinner tonight, mainly showering ourselves, squaring away the vans and all that kind of malarkey that you tend to do on a daily basis. So yeah, we made most of the time. Brew is boiling away there. That's doing its stuff for this video, which will go out today. Today being the still whatever I said it was at the start of the video, can't remember. And then some luncheon type stuff, cheese, garlic sausage and sriracha sauce sandwich. That will do. And a bag of crisps, obviously. And Libby's away at the moment at the leisure centre here in Lochinver, which has showers and also, not that we need it, but also has chemical toilet thrown away type facilities. The small leisure centre was literally just around the corner from where we'd parked up at the church, so it took just a minute or two to get there. Basic facilities, but they had really good showers, very hot, and £3 for as long as you wanted. An absolute bargain. So freshly showered and with our admin complete, we head out from Lochinver towards Koulag with a little bit of time to kill. So we decide to stop off here at the All Abilities Trail, which is just to the side of Loch Assynt. It's a great little park. I think the circular route is about 8 kilometres, something like that. And we just give the dogs a good run out as they've not had much since Koulag Woods that morning. And again, that was such a short walk for them. It's a pleasant enough area, great views over the loch and also back towards Koulag or Koulag. So after an amazing dinner, the bar and restaurant at the Koulag or Koulag Hotel, we're now parked up in the bridge car park. And then if we spin you around just slightly to the left, that whole complex there is Koulag or Koulag that we climbed 2 years ago. Okay, so as we wrap up this video for this week, it just remains for me to say thank you very much for all the support, the positivity, the comments, the likes. We do respond to all the comments, and we'll continue to make these for as long as we're able to, and still traveling and still enjoying it, which we very much are at the moment. Until the next time, take care out there, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye.